confidence, swagger, fearlessness. That word has come up a bunch. This is probably a stupid question, but do you guys see yourselves as championship contenders this season?
For sure.
You do?
For sure. I mean, we're the type of organization that's not really, I mean, we're young, you know, so we're not like those teams that have been building for 7-8 years trying to make a run at this thing. But, I mean, to say that we couldn't do it this year and the coming years, I think is dumb. You know, I mean, given what we've done.
I agree with you. I agree. And so much of the playoffs is about matchups. Were there any lessons or takeaways that you had from playing the number 1 seed, the Jazz, last year in the playoffs?
I mean, they've been there before. I mean, you could tell. I mean, we go into their place and we beat them game 1, and you know, it's like it didn't shake them. You know, not at all. I mean, getting a game on somebody else's home floor is key in any playoff series, and we did it early, and we did it, you know, we threw a punch. We thought it was like, we're here, you know, and I mean, they bounced back and beat us the next 4 games. So, yeah, I mean, I think that experience is huge, and I mean, we got it. I mean, obviously only played 1 series, but I think that it'll do wonders for us this year and in the coming years.
We were talking earlier about, in regards to the sort of the championship contention, about you guys playing up to your competition, and maybe that's not the right word anymore because of where you are, but you know, you've beaten Brooklyn, you've beaten Phoenix, you've beaten Golden State twice, I think. Do you feel like, and this might get back to sort of the confidence and the not really giving a fuck, but like, do you feel like you guys get up for those games even more so than you would for sort of a normal game because you have that chip?
Most definitely. I mean, I think that, you know, given a young team, that's kind of part of like what you go through. I mean, obviously, they say play down to the level of competition or rise for the big games. I think that last year specifically, we did that a lot, but this year I see a different maturity about our group just coming out and handling business. I mean, we've had guys in and out of the lineup, obviously with COVID and injuries, and coach goes out, you know, but you know, we stayed professional all year long, and I think it's a testament to our guys and how we've matured.
Perk has tried so hard for the last month to create this narrative that I am a Ja Morant hater because I won't say that Ja Morant is the MVP, and it drives me fucking crazy. He did it again today. I think he calls it the dark side or something. Like, if you're a Grizzlies fan, you're I'm on the dark side. I love y'all.
He actually has said,
I've been saying this last spring.
Since November or December that Ja is literally your favorite player in the league.
I know. I don't know, but whatever. But the thing I want to ask you about is part of what hurts this narrative about him, and obviously he's had a fantastic season, and since he came back from his injury, you know, his on-off net rating, all that bullshit, like spectacular, all his numbers spectacular. You guys are winning. Everything's great. But part of the narrative is this 10-2 run that you guys had without him. And that sort of hurts his MVP candidacy. Do you think that, like, I guess I'm trying to get to sort of how you guys were able to do that without him. Because if you look at your team, and this is not a knock, that there's Ja in terms of being a superstar, and then there's you and Dylan and JJJ. There's no like clear-cut second superstar, and you guys just continued to win. What do you think is the reason for that?
I mean, we've talked about it. I mean, our culture, our confidence, our swagger. I mean, I think those are you know, the reasons why. I mean, ultimately, I mean, we go into every game regardless who's suiting up, who's on the sidelines, and we feel like we're going to win. I mean, it doesn't matter who we're playing against, where we're at, how many games we've won, how many games we've lost. You know, it was a big hurt, a big hurt to lose Ja, more emotionally than anything. But, I mean, Tyus Jones is about as rock solid as they come off the bench. I mean, so Dylan Brooks was playing well. He was healthy. You know, JJJ was finding his rhythm. So, I mean, to put that on Ja and knock his MVP candidacy and what he's done throughout this year. I don't think it's fair to him, just given, the type of year that he's had, the run that we've been on since he's been back in the lineup. I mean, we're a good team without Ja, but we're a great team with him. He's a guy that can take us to the next level. And, we were 10-2, but we have beat some teams that had guys out, been through some COVID stuff. Not to say that run was invalid or anything, but, I don't think that we're a championship level team without Ja Morant.
No, I totally agree with you. And in hindsight, because Perk said this legitimately like 3 games after he came back, the first time he said it. In hindsight, I think the lesson that I learned from that is how great of a team you are.
For sure.
That it wasn't just about Ja. Ja wasn't the driving force to your start, not the number one reason for your team being able to win or get the 8 seed last year. It was just a complete unit, and that's sort of the view I have now.
For sure.
And I don't think that run hurts or helps his candidacy at all. For the record, by the way, for the record, I mean, you could say like whatever, but like he's like top 3 right now, top 3, and so much can change in the NBA week to week. This season is crazy. I mean, for 2 months, everybody was like Steph or KD is the MVP.
Exactly.
And then Steph goes human, becomes a human, stops being an alien for a month, and Kevin gets hurt, and then now you look at Jokic and Embiid dominating every night. So it's wild to me, and so much of any sort of postseason award is centered around the narrative and the story
Most
behind
definitely.
it. And I think Ja's story and the Grizzlies story is tremendous. I mean, there's a lot to root for.